In this lesson, we learned to add ten to characters in K row so that the consonant sound K changes to a voiced G sound. In this course, we've learned 46 Hiragana characters and the sounds associated with these characters. And over the next 5 lessons, we're going to learn how we add dakuten and handakuten to form different sounds. Now, dakuten and handakuten are essentially diacritics, which are signs we put on letters and characters to indicate how that letter or character is pronounced. Many other languages also have diacritics, and dakuten and handakuten are forms of Japanese diacritics. We've actually come across them already, as some of the words in our review lessons use these diacritics. Now, these markers themselves are referred to as dakuten and handakuten, and the sounds we produce by adding these markers are called DAKUON and handakuten. Colloquially, dakuten and handakuten are referred to as ten and maru. So from this point forward, that's what we will refer to them as. We will first learn about ten, and ten can be added to 4 of the rows in the gojuon table. And in this lesson, we will learn how we add ten to characters in K row. Now, ten are basically voicing markers. So when we add them to a character, the consonant sound of that character changes to a voiced sound. Ten is written on top right of a character, and it kind of resembles a quotation mark. Now, English has a lot of voiced and voiceless pairings, and this means that the 2 sounds are produced in a similar way, but one is voiced and the other is voiceless. A good example is the sound of K and G in English. To produce both sounds, the mouth is open a little, and the back of the tongue touches the roof of the mouth, and the sound is made as the back of the tongue comes off the roof of the mouth. Now, the one difference between these 2 sounds is that K is a voiceless sound, meaning that the sound is produced without vocal cord vibration, but with a lot of air expulsion. On the other hand, G is a voiced sound, meaning that the sound is produced with vocal cord vibration, and also with little to no air expulsion. So when we put ten on characters in K row, we read these characters as a voiced G sound. So in effect, K row becomes a G row. Listen to the sounds of these characters.
Ga, ki, gu, ke, go.
So as you could hear, it's not ka but ga, and it's not ki but gi. So the consonant sound is read as the voiced G sound.
Hiragana. Ga, ki, gu, ke, go. Ga, ki, gu, ke, go.
In the next lesson, we will learn to add ten to characters in S row to form voiced Z sound. See you then, bye bye. Hello and welcome to the second lesson on learning about DAKUON. In this lesson, we will learn how to add ten to characters in S row to form voiced Z sound. Now, S is a voiceless sound, meaning that the sound is produced without vocal cord vibrations, but with a lot of air expulsion. A voiced pairing of S is Z. So although the point of articulation is the same, Z is a voiced sound, meaning that the sound is produced with vocal cord vibration, but with little to no air expulsion. So when we put 10-10 on characters in S row, they become a Z row. Listen to the sounds of these characters.
za, za, ji, ji, zu, zu, ze, ze, zo, zo.
So as you could hear, we put 10-10 on each character in S row, and the consonant sound is read as a voiced Z sound. However, one exception is the second character, and the consonant for this sound is read as a voiced J sound rather than Z sound. So it's G rather than Z.
za, ji, zu, ze, zo. za, za, ji, ji, zu, zu, ze, ze, zo. Zo.
In the next lesson, we will review DAKUON sounds in G and Z rows. See you then. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome back. In this lesson, we will learn how to add 10-10 to characters in T row to form voiced D sound. Now, T is a voiceless sound, so we produce this sound without vocal cord vibration, but with a lot of air expulsion. On the other hand, D is a voiced sound, meaning that the sound is produced with vocal cord vibration, but with little to no air expulsion. So when we put 10-10 on characters in T row, it becomes a D row. However, some of the consonant sounds are pronounced differently. Listen to the sounds of these characters.
da, da, ji, ji, zu, zu, de, de, do, do.
So as you could hear, we put 10-10 on each character in T row, and the consonant sound is read as a voiced D sound. However, there were two exceptions. The second character is pronounced as G, and the third character is pronounced as zu. So in essence, they are pronounced exactly the same as G and zu from Z row. Now, an important point to consider is that G and zu in D row are actually very rare in Japanese language. They were more commonly used in the past, but in modern Japanese, they are hardly ever used. In general, if a Japanese word has these sounds, the word will most likely use G and zu from the Z row rather than from the D row. So do keep that in mind.
da, ji, zu, de, do. Da, da, ji, ji, zu, zu, de, de, do.
In the next lesson, we will learn how we add tenten to characters in H row to form the voiced B sound. See you then, bye bye! Hello and welcome to the final lesson on learning about DAKUON sounds. In this lesson, we will learn how to add tenten to characters on H row to form voiced B sound. Now, the sound of H is perhaps the most voiceless sound in any language. To make this sound, the vocal cords open wide, and the sound is produced with a lot of air passing through the mouth. On the other hand, B is a voiced sound, meaning that the sound is produced with vocal cord vibration, but with little to no air expulsion. However, we don't naturally associate H and B as being voiced and voiceless pairing, but when we put tenten on characters in H row, it becomes a B row. Listen to the sounds of these characters.
Pa, pa, bi, bi, bu, bu, be, be, bo, bo.
So as you could hear, these characters are read with the consonant sound B.
Pa, bi, bu, be, bo. Pa, pa, bi, bi, bu, bu, be, be, bo. Bo.
In the next lesson, we will learn how to add maru, handakuten to characters in H row to form another kind of sound. See you then, bye bye! Hello and welcome to the lesson on learning about handakuten. In this lesson, we will learn about the other kind of diacritic, handakuten, colloquially known as maru. Now, maru is a small circle written on top right of a character, same as tenten. And maru is only added to characters in H row to form the voiceless P sound. Now, tenten is regarded as a voicing marker, meaning that the consonant sound of that character is read as a voiced sound. However, handakuten is regarded as a half voicing marker. Now, that might not make much sense, as really, what does half voicing mean? Well, let's think of it this way. As mentioned in the previous lesson, H is the most voiceless consonant sound, as the sound is produced with the vocal cords wide open, and we make the H sound by passing a lot of air through the mouth. And when we put tenten on characters in H row, the characters are read with voiced B sound, so we go from extreme voiceless to voiced. Now, in general, the natural voiceless pairing to the voiced B sound is voiceless P, because the two sounds are articulated in a similar way. Both sounds are produced when the closed lips open. However, since P is a voiceless sound, it leads to a lot of air passing through when the lips release open. Therefore, if we put the half voicing marker maru on characters in H row, these characters are pronounced with P sound. So as shown by this diagram, we're making the extreme voiceless H sound to become less voiceless P sound. Listen to how these characters are read.
Pa, pa, pi, pi, pu, pu, pe, pe, po, po.
So as you could hear, each character is read with a voiceless P sound.
Pa, 포 파 파 피 피 푸 푸 해 해 포 포